just have to be judicious because you remember, Dr. Pipham's theme, you know, your power is in your simplicity.
Yeah.
It will tend to detract from that if you're constantly using it all the time. But if you will take some time to think about it, to think about it in relationship to what you want being sung,
Right.
then you can construct something that still has that, you know, and use it judicially.
So where's the balance with, for example, you can make the piano sound really good when you throw in a, and you know this really well when you know your wife, when you throw in a dissonant chord in there,
Absolutely.
and all that stuff.
Yeah. It's not saying that they can't be used.
Okay.
Yeah. And the church didn't take that position either. They
Right.
just said to use it, you know, use it wisely and judiciously because they're used all the time in jazz. And
Right.
what it will do is it will detract from the simplicity and the spiritual power, I think, of the song.
So let's just play a Savior Like a Shepherd.
In jazz form?
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, what you called it.
Standard.
The nice
Yeah,
one.
No, jazz form or whatever you call it. Because the thing is, I just want to make sure the definition of the Philippines is not jazz versus what jazz really is. It's not tradition. I just want to know exactly what this means. So go ahead and what you're playing.
Sounds beautiful, yeah? See, if you do it all the time, then it's gonna, you know, this is my opinion, you know, and this is where you need, you know, a multitude of counselors because I may see it maybe a little different, and so
Sure.
we
I
might,
just want to know the principles and not to do things by
Yeah.
what tradition say. 'Cause just because there's some people who are conservative, have a traditional way that, hey, this is not how I'm used to it. I
Yeah.
want to know things based upon principles.
Right.
Because I like certain chords and I try to put them
yes.
in. I'm not as good as this guy.
Yeah.
I can transpose on the fly, but I play mostly majors and I don't know.
Right.
He knows the
he
ridiculous.
knows all the transitional
Oh
chords.
man, he
to
knows
lead
why
from.
I can do things. He knows.
Yeah. Well, of
You
course.
know, and I just hear, oh, this sounds good. I'm gonna throw that in
Yeah.
there and stuff.
So I would personally tend to refrain from doing them all the time.
But if you throw in a
But if
once
you,
in a while,
yes, it's something that'll add to the it was something that will add to the music.
right?
All
If
right.
you always use it, it's
But if you always use it, I think it'll
for
detract from it.
for your own purpose, but the people doesn't like it.
Yeah, it will detract from it. And then there's also the more attention can sometimes be placed then on the musician rather than the musician serving, you know, and doing that. So, you know, it's hard to tell exactly where the lines are drawn, but you will begin to know as you incorporate the principles. And then also talk amongst yourselves, among people who have a knowledge of this, among people who have the same framework as you do.
Right.
And say, you know, what do you guys think, you know? And be willing to, you know, that's part of the humility, right? Excel in humility.
You have perfect pitch, huh?
And that's difficult for...
Yeah, that's not fair, man.
It's not fair, I know. It's not fair.
How can you do that? It's fair. I can teach myself, but this guy just whatever. He just does it.
Yeah. My wife has that too. Yeah, so, yeah, I know what she can do.
Okay, so to understand things, using dissonance and using those chords, there's nothing wrong with itself, which is my
In and of
stance.
itself.
Right.
Because music is not a chord, right?
Right.
It's not a chord. It's something that happens over time. You know, like when the church thought that you couldn't play the tritone, C and F sharp, you know. Yeah, no music with a tritone. That's the devil's note.
Why?
Well, because of just the particular way that it might have sounded, you know.
Oh.
Yeah, and so now if you play all that all the time, you know,
Yeah.
well, yeah, I mean, you know, but if you're using it to transition or something, you know, I mean, maybe you can think of something.
Like
I
here.
don't
I
know.
use it in a. I use that
I
one
can play
in
tritone
a tritone in
But it's not
When
a
We All Get
tritone.
to Heaven. That's the actual beat I use on the chorus. That one thing. Remember that what I wasn't that what I used on Is that a tritone?
I don't know.
This is fully diminished.
Oh, it's diminished.
Diminished chord.
Full
Full
diminished.
diminished chord, yeah.
But
See,
I
I
have,
throw that in
half
on,
diminished is like this.
Okay.
And E flat is full diminished.
Okay. Yeah, that's nothing wrong with that chord.
Okay.
It's how you use it.
That's how you use
You
it.
know,
Because
Yeah. See?
Okay.
And so, I mean, the listener, I mean, they're not gonna, you know, it's
Right.
because it's only a passing chord.
a passing chord,
Yeah.
exactly. That's
Only
right.
once.
Okay.
Oh, I see.
So you really need a good, this is a real art, the art of accompanying, because
Yeah.
you need a good knowledge of music theory, and that theory then must be grounded into, what we've been talking about within the framework.
Sure.
And then to pick and choose how you can use some of those chords to enhance the music. So
This guy's good.
yeah. So
Anybody? Good, man. All right. Cool.
I don't know if
Thanks.
that was helpful. That's
No,
just
it was.
my opinion based on.
No, because some people just because they hear dissonance, I hear them say that's jazz, and
No, I
you know
don't
what, that's-
agree
that's
either. Yeah,
not
I don't
exactly
agree.
correct.
Yeah. We need, everything exists in a context or in a framework, and if you do it right, it can add to the quality of the music.
Right. And I'm guessing that also applies to singing, like using certain crooning or whatever they call it, or certain, not hitting the chord right away or something. or
Yes,
what-
yes. It depends, right, on the framework, the rhythmic framework of which you're working. So,
Okay.
like some people might close their eyes. Now, I know in a certain context when a person closes their eyes, they're, but in other contexts, it's just not the same, So, so it's hard to make a real black. Should you close your eyes or shouldn't you? Well, it's not the same as should you dress well or shouldn't you?
Right.
You know?
Yeah,
It's,
that's-
it's that's apples
Exactly.
and oranges. It just, and just if we all get together and talk about it, it's helpful. So.
Okay.
But there are tritones like you're using it for the divine service. The first.
Uh-oh.
Do you get one? See?
Yeah.
That would be great.
Okay.
See?
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
See.
But this is 7 chord. D7.
So, yeah.
Wow.
But you see how he did it, I mean, and the way he played it. Right.
Or like this, glory be to the Father. Yun. Diba?
Wow, he's good, man.
That's how it is.
Right. So yeah. So they're not bad in and of themselves.
It depends on how you use the tritones. Because the tritones are composed with 7 chords.
Okay, got it. All right.
And my idea on the tritone is part of the reason is because it was too evil or sensual or something like that.
Depends
And
how
it
you
wasn't off the Platonic framework of just unison or perfect fifth or perfect fourth. Or,
Even the heritage singers like use triton sometimes. Like when I touch his garment, song like.
yeah.
No, the only bad thing is this piano. That's,
Yeah.
Yeah, really bad thing.
that's the dissonance.
That must drive you crazy, huh?
That's the dissonance, and that's the natural augmented fifth.
You know what my wife would do? She would play it in a different key so she doesn't have to play that note. Because she's played on those pianos before, and she's like, the first thing she does when she gets to a piano, she goes, like semitones, just to check out the chromatic scale. And then no, and she'll stop. No, that's not good. Because sometimes you get something like this. You're at a small church, or whatever. You can't, and so she'll just go through it.
Yeah, let's check it.
You know what happened once? We were doing a music seminar, and she was on the piano, and the person wasn't on an electronic keyboard. Now, with the electronic keyboard, you can change the key and still play the same.
Right.
Well, so that person was looking at the music, but playing it in the key they're comfortable playing it in.
It's transposed already.
Yeah, but they did it wrong, And so, let's say it was C, and then they were playing like D flat or something, or E or whatever, and so they both started together, and then all of a sudden, bang, and it was like, my wife stopped. Within 2 seconds, she figured it out. Bang, So
So bad.
Yeah, and you can do that, you know. But if it was anybody else, it would have been game over.
Game
You
over,
know,
game
it would have taken them so much time to figure out, you know, what had happened, where it had gone, what key it went to.
Yeah.
So it's fascinating, you know. So yes, use that ability for the Lord. Yes.
Amen.
So I challenge you. Use it. He's given it to you, you know. And so yeah, blessings. Thanks for being willing to help me out. So.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You live your life for Jesus, right?
I got a radio program I gotta get ready for. So.
That's all it is. Yeah, against Rio.
Three.
So how do you end that? So how would you end something like that? Okay, how do you do that one? I always hear that one.
DMC, right?
Yeah. And then what next? Yeah, and then you went. What'd you do?
7.
Until you end.
Will you be at the cafeteria for lunch today, or
Yeah, possibly, yeah.
possibly?
Yeah. You need something?
No, I just wanted to know where you guys were going to be at.
I think most everyone is. I may have a phone call from the US.
So most everyone probably. knows
Yeah.
that. Okay.
So when you end,
Let's practice those standards. So later you will understand on how to put.
so when you end, you.
For me, I only. Yeah, I always like that.
Wait, do that one again.
Yeah. Bass, fifth, third. See, let's make it compound. Even it's an octave. This is still third, huh? See? Yeah. Only fifth. As long as you're getting the
Yeah, I know, but what did you? Yeah, I got that. Then you did something else. That part. What is that? How did that part? I know that last part.
See, this is F.
Or 7.
This is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6, right? Or 13.
Oh, yeah,
13,
yeah,
13.
yeah.
Right,
Micah, this is the large. You have
Medium.
There's no medium.
Oh, okay. All right, large then.
I think small.
Small?